And we're recording. Okay. Hi, everyone. Oh, we good? Yes. Everybody froze for a second. Uh, Welcome. My name is Holly Arsenault. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the director of engagement in the UW School of Drama, which means I do marketing, communications, fundraising. And I'm also an alum of the BA program. I graduated in 2001. So I'm here today in both of those capacities, and I'm going to pass it over to my colleague Eloise.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy you're joining us today. My name is Eloise Boyle. I am the undergraduate advisor for the School of Drama. And I am going to pass it on to Scott Mogelson.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Scott Mogelson. I am the head of the History, Theory, and Criticism area in the School of Drama, and I'm also the undergraduate coordinator. And I teach in the program. I teach classes in theater history and performance studies. And on to Caroline.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I use she, her pronouns. I am the Constituent Relations Officer in the School of Drama, which is a very fancy title that says I do alumni engagement. I get to help Holly with some current student engagement, prospective student engagement. I do fundraising, events. Yeah, I think that's it. And Scott, should I pass it back to you for the grand spiel?
All right. Thank you, Caroline. Well, I'm glad to see all of you. I'm going to start with just a few opening remarks about the School of Drama, what it is we do, what it is we're all about, opportunities for undergraduate students. And I've got some slides that I'll show. I'll just talk for a few minutes and we'll have plenty of time for questions and answers in a moment, but I'll just kind of put a bunch of stuff out on the table and introduce you to some of our programs in broad strokes. Okay, so I will share my screen here. Okay, so let me begin by telling you a little bit about who we are. The School of Drama is a place for learning about and doing theater and performance at the University of Washington. We are a nationally recognized academic department with graduate and undergraduate degree programs in theater studies, scenic, costume, lighting, and sound design, acting and directing. And undergrads who get a BA in theater get a fully rounded liberal arts education with a solid grounding in theater history, design, and performance. We offer a major in drama, and majors can pursue a general theater studies curriculum, or they can specialize in performance or design. We also offer a minor with similar opportunities for specialization. The School of Drama produces a full season of plays and performances every year in our several theaters across campus. In the School of Drama, and this is our vision, we believe in cultivating artists and scholars of courage, character, and craft, and engaging our community in theatrical storytelling as a means of elevating and celebrating our individual and collective voices, promoting understanding, and nurturing compassion. Why come study with us? One of the biggest reasons is our amazing world-class instructors. We've got a faculty full of professionally trained teacher practitioners who also regularly act, direct, and design in professional theaters in the Puget Sound area and also across the country. One of the things that makes the School of Drama stand apart from other academic theater departments with graduate programs is that our faculty they all teach in both the graduate and undergraduate classrooms. And this means that our undergraduate students get time and attention from all the members of the faculty. We don't have, in other words, some teachers who only work with graduate students and some teachers who only work with undergrads. Another thing that I really like about the UW School of Drama is our close connection with the professional theater community in Seattle and in the region. Many of our area theaters were actually founded by or are currently led by alums of the School of Drama, including Seattle Repertory Theater, ACT, Seattle Children's Theater, Washington Ensemble Theater, Jet City Improv, The Horse in Motion, Azeotrope, Intiman, the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and many others. our students regularly pursue academic internships with professional companies in anything from design and technical theater to marketing to performance. And this translates into students from our programs getting connections with regional theaters during their time here. And so they can also draw upon these connections after graduation. Let me tell you a little bit about our productions. Here in the School of Drama, in a normal year, we do between 7 and 10 fully produced shows and experimental lab performances, including both contemporary plays and plays drawing upon a rich legacy of other major theatrical periods over time. This year, of course, we've had to pivot to a season of online productions. And next year, we're going to be building back slowly to in-person productions. And so we're looking at probably 4 fully realized main stage productions plus some other smaller productions. That said, whether it's serious shows or musicals or comedies, our season selections are meant to expose our students to a range of theatrical styles and periods and to engage with the world around us. We believe that making theater is crucial to understanding theater. So our undergrads have many, many opportunities to participate in these productions on stage as actors and behind the scenes as costume designers, sound designers, lighting designers, scenic designers, dramaturgs, stage managers, board operators, run crew, et cetera, et cetera. And at least one production each season is conceived as an all BA show, meaning that it is fully cast with undergraduate actors and it features undergraduates on the design team. And I should also say that in School of Drama productions, you don't have to be a major or a minor in order to participate. One of the questions that students ask when they're looking for academic experiences is whether these experiences will make them hireable. And the answer is definitely yes in the School of Drama. Our students go on to get jobs in theater, in communication, in entertainment, but also many other professions like teachers, lawyers, project management, psychology, and so forth. And this is because the skills and experiences our students get are those that employers look for, including collaboration, innovation, project realization, communication, persistence, empathy, and flexibility. We work closely throughout students' time here with career counselors in the Career and Internship Center that match our students' skills and experiences with employers' needs. Additionally, the drama major is very friendly to doubling up with other academic majors. Over 40% of our majors also double major in another discipline. Finally, one of the reasons our students tell us for why they study in the School of Drama is that it's a great place to be and to hang out. Students report among the highest rated factors that make School of Drama important to them is the powerful sense of belonging that they feel here. The School of Drama is a close-knit community that is welcoming and supportive in a large institution that can sometimes be a bit isolating for students. At the same time, we're able to draw upon the resources of a large R1 university, like our theater spaces, scene and costume shops, and our libraries. And in addition to School of Drama programs, we also have several very active student organizations like the Undergraduate Theater Society, the Chinese Theater Club, Stage Notes Musical Club, and improv clubs that also produce plays and performances. So this is a space where the students feel looked out for. The faculty and the staff know the students' names and are committed to our student success. And I will leave it there. I know you have plenty of questions, but we're going to do a little bit more opening programming, and then we'll turn it over to discussion. So I'm going to stop my share and hand it over to Holly.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, before we get to Q&A, I'm going to share a short video that we produced this year, actually, during COVID. So keep that in mind when you think about the production quality of this video. This video was so generously and lovingly created by one of our graduate students at a short notice because we needed it for a hiring process, actually. We were hiring a new assistant professor of playwriting this year, which we've now done. We have a very exciting professor, Dr. Nikki Yaboa, joining us next year. And because those prospective faculty members couldn't visit campus, we had to make this quick video. So we think that it's a good way of you getting a chance to see some of our spaces and start to envision what it's actually like to be in our buildings. So here we go. I'm going to share this.
Hi, my name's Jason, and I'm a third-year graduate acting candidate at the University of Washington. Today, I'm going to take you on a virtual tour of some of the spaces in 3 different buildings that are essential to students, faculty, and staff in the UW School of Drama. Let's get going. The first building on the tour is Hutchinson Hall, or Hutch, which is where most drama classes are held, with the exception of some larger lecture classes, such as Drama 101. Hutch is located on the far north end of UW's 703-acre Seattle campus and is surrounded by student dorms, close to UW's Business, Art, and Music School, and right around the corner from the Burke Museum of Natural History. Built in 1927 as the Women's Gymnasium, Hutchinson Hall was named in honor of Mary Gross Hutchinson, a former head of UW's Physical Education Department. In 1988, the building was converted for the School of Drama, and Hutch now houses 13 faculty and staff offices, 2 student lounges, 2 theaters, 5 rehearsal studios, 4 classrooms, a lighting lab, 2 design studios, the drama library, a costume storage, and a costume shop. Let's start there. The costume shop, located on the ground floor of Hutch, is one of the best equipped multifunctional costume shops in the area. It features 8 full-size work tables, 2 fitting rooms, hardwood floors, windows, full die crafts room, laundry facilities, and a kitchen. 7 organized and inventoried storerooms contain over 7,000 feet of hanging storage and 800 feet of box storage. Across the hall from the costume shop is room 130, one of the building's lecture classes, which has useful access to a TV VCR, DVD player, and a projector. Also on the ground floor are the design studios. The design wing was added to the building in 2010 when the original swimming pool was filled in. One floor up is one of the 2 student lounges, which is what you are seeing here. Both lounges are equipped with a sink, refrigerator, and microwave, and this lounge has several workstations, lots of comfortable seating, and the sweet little chalkboard where students plan communal activities. The room directly adjacent to the student lounge is the Cabaret Theater, or the CAT, which was originally the small gym of the building before being converted into the black box theater you see here. The CAT hosts numerous classes and meetings, as well as School of Drama-produced lab projects and student-produced work. Hutchinson Hall hosts several registered student organizations, including the Undergraduate Theater Society, Chinese Theater Club, and Stage Notes, a musical theater club.
Oops, sorry.
Just around the corner from the CAT is one of 2 studios converted from the large gym of the building. This is where many of the physical-based acting classes take place. This is room 303, one of the classrooms on the top floor of Hutch, and one of my absolute favorite places that I had the privilege of learning in. The room is, as you can see, truly exquisite and has terrific views of campus. Down this way is the next building we will explore together, the Glen Hughes Penthouse Theater. Named for School of Drama founder Glen Hughes, the Penthouse was the first purpose-built theater in the round ever built in the United States. In 1991, this 160-seat arena stage was lifted from its foundation and moved across campus from its original location to its current spot, nestled in the North Campus woods. Hughes built the theater because he wanted to provide some of the drama and immediacy of the cinema, and performing and viewing shows in the Penthouse remains an unusually intimate experience. It was named the Penthouse because Hughes had previously staged plays in the drawing room of the Penthouse at the top of the Edmund Meany Hotel. The Penthouse also houses a rehearsal hall, dressing rooms, and faculty offices. The School of Drama typically stages 2 or 3 fully produced plays and numerous smaller productions and school meetings in the Penthouse each year. Next, we have the Jones Playhouse. In 1930, Florence and Burton James, along with Albert Ottenheimer, established the Seattle Repertory Playhouse in a converted tile warehouse at the intersection of University Way and Northeast 41st Street, where they and the Seattle branch of the African American unit of the Federal Theater Project staged some of the most celebrated productions in Seattle history. In 1951, the Jameses and Ottenheimer were held in contempt by Joint Legislative Fact-Finding Committee on Un-American Activities for refusing to tell the committee whether or not they were or ever had been members of the Communist Party. In the wake of the hearings, the Playhouse experienced a precipitous drop-off in subscribers, eventually going bankrupt in 1950. On January 1st, 1951, the UW took possession of the property in what Burton James called an act of cultural vandalism. It became and remains one of the School of Drama's primary performance venues. In 1998, the UW School of Drama produced faculty member Mark Jenkins' documentary play about the Canwell hearings, All Powers Necessary and Convenient. In the audience were local philanthropists Floyd and Dolores Jones, themselves committed civil rights champions, like the Jameses and Ottenheimer had been. The Joneses were so moved by the Playhouse's story that Floyd eventually agreed to finance a major renovation of the building in Dolores' honor, who passed away in 2005. The building reopened in 2009 with a new name, the Floyd and Dolores Jones Playhouse. Finally, we have the School of Drama Scene Shop, which is located about a mile from Hutchinson Hall and just down the street from the Jones Playhouse. It contains space for carpentry, metalwork, paint, electric, and prop shop activities. The Scene Shop houses staff offices, a computer lab that includes the school's 3D printers, and prop storage. It's also been home to some fantastic parties. Thank you so much for watching.
This unforgettable vacation memory. It didn't actually begin here. This
Sorry. Little Verbo ad there. All right, so we're going to start answering some questions. I'm sure people came prepared with questions. We also have some questions that were pre-asked through our Google form. Thank you to those who did that. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Feel free to throw your question in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get our little form up. So one of the most basic questions that a few people asked, and this is to you, Eloise, is what are the prerequisites for being accepted into the School of Drama?
Thanks. Yeah. So we are a BA program. We are, which means we don't have an audition or an application into our major. You would end up taking Drama 201, which is our text analysis class, plays and styles. And once you complete 201 with a 2.5 or better grade, you can declare the major. That's it.
Great. Mary Weathers, I see you have a question. Do you want to unmute and ask it?
Sure. I wasn't sure if you wanted us to raise our hand or just unmute. So I figured
Totally.
I'd pick the safer option.
Yeah.
One question that I was wondering, I guess I have two questions about the productions that you guys do within the department. My first question about that would be, within those, I think you said 10 or 8 productions, how many are directed by faculty or I guess adults in general versus how many are directed and cast by maybe students or the people are graduate students, that's the word, graduate students versus professors and such.
Yeah, that's a great question. So um, we, I'm going to talk about the public season, which
Mhm.
is like our otherwise known as or thought about as our main stage season, the shows that we sell a package to subscribers and people from the community come and watch them, and they're produced in one of those two theaters typically that you just saw in the video. So usually either one, in a typical season there are 6 of those shows, sometimes 7, and either one or two would be directed by a MFA graduate director, depending on how many graduate directors are in the program at that year who need to direct on the main stage that year. And then the rest would all be directed either by faculty or by professional guest artists. And then we have our lab projects, which are smaller projects that are typically produced in one of our actually 3 theaters that we have inside of Hutchinson Hall. You saw one of them in the video. And those are typically directed by the MFA graduate directors. And then there's also student produced work, like work that's produced through the Undergraduate Theater Society, Chinese Theater Club, Stage Notes, etc., which would be all directed, produced, performed by undergraduate students. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And then also a question, do you guys do musicals? That was something I was looking for online. I couldn't find a lot of info about it.
Yeah, we do musicals. We do not have a dedicated musical theater program. We have a goal right now of producing a fully produced musical on our main stage every other season. So yeah, that's the answer. We do musicals. We have done musicals in the past. We love doing musicals. And it takes a huge amount of production support to produce a musical. So we want to try to sort of build it up, over the course of 2 years so that we can produce a really good musical every other year. So we do have that. And then we also have the student organization Stage Notes, which is completely dedicated to musicals. And they typically in a normal year produce 2 to 3. You'll hear us say typically and in a normal year a lot in this info session. Everybody understands why. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
I see a question in the chat. Thank you. Are students involved in selecting any of the shows produced each year? The answer is yes. And I am especially equipped to answer this because I actually led our season selection committee this year, which was made up of staff like me, faculty, graduate students, PhD students, and undergraduates. So, and it's totally, at least the process as it's been the last 2 years, it's just anybody who wants to participate and who can commit to a large amount of play reading is able to participate in that, which is pretty great.
Really good question.
Yeah.
I had a question regarding class size, and I'm sure that it ranges based on like specializations and whether it's like a lecture or a movement class, but what do class sizes typically look like for drama students?
Eloise, you want to take a crack at this one?
Sure. So it does range. Most of our performance-based classes range from about 16 to 18 students in a class or in a section. Our history, theory, criticism classes can be around 25 to 30 students in a lecture. And our design classes are pretty much on par with our performance classes. So I would say anywhere from 16 to 20 students in those classes.
Awesome, thank you so much. I was also wondering, once you pass that drama 201 class and you can declare your major, can you declare your specialization immediately as well, or do you take, okay, cool, thank you.
Yes, you can. Yep. So I typically ask everybody, okay, so which of the 3 majors do you want to declare? So, yep.
Eloise, I'm hoping maybe you can answer this question. What does it mean to have been admitted to pre-art?
Oh, yes. So when you indicated on your application what majors you were interested in, if you indicated one of the 4 majors that or 5 majors that are in the arts division, you would be put into pre-arts before that time, pardon me, before the time comes when you can actually declare the major. So for our major, you're in pre-arts until you finish 201, and then you can declare the major. So different departments have different prerequisites for declaring the major.
Mary,
Did that
go for
answer
it.
your question, Gina?
What? Sorry.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Great.
Also, my name is Soli. I realized I have my mom's name.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault. It's my fault.
Solely.
Because I have a million questions. I guess I'm just gonna fire at you. I saw you mentioned in the slideshow that there's 2 main study abroad opportunities through the School of Drama, one in Edinburgh and one in Rome. Could you talk a little about both of those and kind of the differences between them? And yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to take that on. I've been leading the Scotland study abroad program, and I've been trading back and forth with a couple other faculty members. But we did have a study abroad program in Scotland scheduled for this summer. Unfortunately, that was canceled because of COVID. But typically, the way the Edinburgh, Scotland program works is we bring a group of students over. Many of them are drama majors. We also bring students over who are outside of the department, some who are active in the School of Drama, even if they're not majors, and then some who just really want to do this study abroad experience. And we go to the city of Edinburgh, Scotland, where in the month of August, there's a huge international theater festival with big name theaters from across the world that come and produce plays in these world-renowned theater spaces all across the city. And then in addition to the international festival, there's another festival, very famous festival called the Festival Fringe, which is actually in the years since it emerged in 1947 has become much bigger than the international festival. So there are thousands of performances that happen over the course of the month. These are comedies, and they're musicals, and they are experimental shows, and they also have stand-up comedy presentations and dance and you name it from all over the world. And so the experience is basically just going to as much theater as we can pack in the 30 or 31 days that we're there over the month of August. And that can be anywhere from 30 to 60 shows because the students also have some say in how many shows they do, because in addition to all this great theater, there's also these world-class museums, there are castles and other tourist attractions. We take a weekend-long excursion up into the Scottish Highlands, and we explore the Glens and the city of Inverness, and we take a boating tour of Loch Ness. So it's an amazing experience, one that students all hear about and look forward to. That's offered typically every other year. And then the Rome experience, which is led by my colleague, Dr. Odai Johnson, is a several-week program in late August, early September as part of the Early Start program. And the students live in the heart of Rome in an old Renaissance era building, and they take lots of different classes from a number of different disciplines. And then part of the experience is exploring the city, seeing the museums, seeing the architectural attractions, et cetera, et cetera. So the way we're working it out is that we'll offer the Rome experience and the Edinburgh experience they take turns each year. And so students can participate in both programs over the course of their years of study here.
Scott, I have a follow-up question, which is, do I have to apply to those programs? How do I do that?
Yes. All the programs are run through our study abroad programs office, and the way to apply is early on in the year, probably around December. the applications are due, and that's just a matter of filling out some forms, getting a letter of recommendation, and then those applications are vetted by the program leaders, and then the leaders will accept people into the program a little bit later in the year, like February. And then the students have a bit of time to commit. So just because they're accepted, it doesn't mean they're on the hook for buying a plane ticket and planning to spend part of their summer in Europe. They can check in with their families and make sure this is going to work. And then when they commit, then there are plenty of orientation classes and sessions leading up to it, so that students they know everything they need to know about how to get there, where they're going to be staying, how it's going to work, what they should plan to bring in terms of money for food, what things are covered, what things aren't covered. And there's lots of information about these programs on the Study Abroad website, because in addition to the programs that the School of Drama is involved with, there are many, many other amazing study abroad experiences offered through the UW Study Abroad program.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because Mary's asking in the chat if both our programs are summer programs. They are, and then which Eloise has said. But you should understand that as a drama major, you're not limited to only participating in the drama study abroad programs. University of Washington has a massive broad study abroad program, and I had a student working for me who I think over the course of her 3 years of working for me did 3 or 4 quarters abroad. So she was working for me for part of the time, just through various programs and just following her interests and what languages she was interested in and all of that. So I'm going to throw the link to the UW Study Abroad website in the chat.
And Eloise or Scott, can you answer really quick about, these are credit associated programs. I don't know how much credit is associated with each class though.
Yeah, like 12 or 16 credits. So you get credits toward graduation. They're not necessarily credits toward fulfilling the degree requirements for the major, but they count. So it's not just you're getting credit toward graduation requirements.
And you can use those, Scott, toward the drama elective credits that are necessary for each of the
Thank you. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And I did want to add, I don't know if you all are aware of the UW Rome Center. It is an amazing place. And if you aren't aware of it, I highly recommend Googling UW Rome Center and just take a look. We've got programs there all year long across the university. So it's really a great resource that we have. Karina, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I had 2 questions, one based off of the study abroad program. You talked a lot about in the Scotland one, Edinburgh, you get to see so many performances, which is awesome. I was wondering if students get to work on any productions or take classes or anything of that sort while they're there.
The way that the Scotland program is currently structured, the students don't actually participate in a production themselves. There are programs, some that are cross-institutional, where students can sign up and they can participate in a show that's actually brought to Scotland and mounted as part of the Fringe Festival. There are, I think, a couple of undergraduate organizations that are dedicated to that. We don't do that ourselves. In the past, we've had faculty members who have brought groups to Scotland to participate in the Fringe Festival, in the Festival Fringe. That's not, like I say, it's not part of this class, but that's not to rule out that there wouldn't be other opportunities to do that kind of thing.
Great, thank you. My other question was, I am kind of interested in the business side of theater for like a degree. So I was wondering what sort of opportunities you have in the business, or if that would you recommend like a double major or something?
Maybe Okay, go ahead, Eloise.
I was just going to say, we currently don't offer any courses in, say, theater administration. But we have had plenty of students double major in the Foster School of Business and Drama. And so if you are interested in kind of that area, you can look into the Foster School of Business, which is, I should say, capacity constrained major. So you do definitely need to apply into that one. But that's one route. And Holly, do you have something maybe more?
Yeah, I just want to say, so my path, I got a BA in drama and did not take any business classes or really anything other than drama. I mean, I did take things other than drama, but I didn't take any of the things that you would think would prepare you for the career that I ended up having. And I left the School of Drama and I did an internship at Seattle Rep, and I ended up working for a nonprofit called Teen Tix, and I became the executive director of that nonprofit, and I learned a lot about marketing, communications, and fundraising through that experience. And that led me to where I am now, which is director of engagement for the School of Drama, which most people who do my job would say, pretty good job. And I think that I am a total advocate for studying the thing that you're interested in doing. It's not like, oh, I didn't study anything, so don't worry about it. Not at all. It's great to have teachers. It's fantastic to have teachers. And I think that so many of the skills that I acquired during my time at the School of Drama that led me on my career path actually happened in the student organizations. So I was the director of UTS for 2 years, the Undergraduate Theater Society, and that was such a huge education in leadership, communication, budgeting, producing theater, so many of the things that I ended up using. And then I think that it's seeking out those internship opportunities and really trying to form those connections with those, the amazing thing about the School of Drama, Scott alluded to it in his opening statement, is that we have so many of our alumni, so many of our faculty working in our regional theaters, right? So there's this really strong network, but you have to take advantage of it. Right? Like you have to be proactive about saying, this is something that I'm interested in learning. I want to go and learn that thing and do that thing. Because when you say, Karina, you're interested in theater management, like that could mean so many different things, right? That could take you in a million different directions. And maybe there are courses in the business school that are going to help you get there, but it might be more of a path of like studying drama and doing practical internship type things. And then the last thing I'll say about that is that Seattle also happens to have a wonderful MFA Arts Leadership program at Seattle University. So I think that there's value in thinking about like how a BA, a broad-based liberal arts education in drama, might be setting you up for if you really are like, no, I really want to be the executive director of a major LORT theater. That's my career path. How you could go and then get those skills after you're through your BA. So that's what I would say about that.
I'm going to just echo Holly, which is to say that I was also a theater major as an undergraduate, not at UW. And my number one piece of advice, I did internships with Seattle theaters over the summer, is to ask, like just email companies and say, can I do an internship with you? And sometimes they even came up with money to pay me. So that's my number one piece of advice. And just also advocating for the fact that because of where the university is located, you have a lot of chances to work with a lot of different companies. Seattle has, it seems like, a theater company for whatever interest you might have. So it's pretty cool that way. And you can do them during the school year. I did mine during the summer, but if you're able to be here year round, there's more going on in main stage season times. Avery asks, do you offer screen acting courses? And if so, how rigorous are they? We do. Scott or Eloise?
Okay, so we do have a screen acting for the camera class at the graduate level, but we don't have screen acting classes at the undergraduate level in our curriculum. We are really a theater-based program, and there's not, it's like there's not a whole lot of film at UW. I mean, there isn't a filmmaking department really. There's all kinds of digital filmmaking that can happen in the DX Arts department. But, we're just not really big on filmmaking at the University of Washington. Anybody else want to chime in?
Thank you for correcting me. Ethan, did I see you with your hand up maybe? No? Okay.
Earlier I did actually have a question, yeah. I was wondering, something I couldn't quite find in my research is what sort of opportunities do, if any, do students get to sort of experience or interact with more professional working environments? Like, are there any sort of opportunities to like visit professional companies, et cetera, or is that sort of left to internships or just sort of experience outside, as you said?
I would say yes to internships and finding opportunities on your own for sure. A lot of our students, I think, do that route. We do have our costume shop and our scene shop on campus, which are staffed by working professional artists. So I think if you're looking for scenic construction, props, costume construction experience, you can have the chance to work with professionals while you're here, which I think is different than some other undergraduate programs where it is more students doing everything. This is students getting chances to work with professional staff. Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah. Sorry, you go ahead.
Holly.
No, you go.
Okay. No, I just want to say that the theaters in town, when they do have internship opportunities, they know to send us those notices so we can get that information out to our students. And so we've had students intern at Seattle Repertory Theater, at Taproot Theater, at Seattle Children's, and a lot of students. What's the one out in Everett?
Village.
Musical, la la la. Village. Thank you. Village Theater, and our students have also really gone out and just said, "Hey, I have this opportunity to work with, I don't know, a theater group in Shoreline. Could I turn this into an internship?" And so we sit down and we figure out whether that in fact could be used as a credit-bearing internship for our students. But yeah, theaters in town know that they can get good interns by asking us to get that information out to our students.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Caroline said. I'm a playwright. That is my primary profession, actually. Here I am at my day job. So many of our staff and faculty are actively working in Seattle and across the country. We don't have, Ethan, some schools have like a formal partnership with a theater that's there in their region where the students, formally as part of their coursework go and work at that theater. We don't have that. You're hearing us talk a lot about you're going to follow your interests. You're going to find that internship. We're going to help connect you with that. The reason is one of our huge values as a school is entrepreneurship, right? And it also has to do with us being a BA, a liberal arts, a broad-based program. It's not a BFA program, right? It's a program where people are coming in with all different types of interests and values and directions and pathways that they want to go. And so you really have to sort of like pursue your path. And then the folks in the school are going to support you in every way that we can. But it's a really good program for people who are interested in exploring everything that theater has to offer. And my personal testimony about that is that I was queen bee theater nerd #1 in high school, right? And I acted in everything and I directed everything and I slept in my school theater in Spokane. And I came to UW thinking, I'm an actor, that's all I ever want to do. I'm the best actor in the world and I'm going to be acting in everything. No, I love acting. I will always love acting, but I found out that there were things that I loved more that I was better at. And now I'm so happy that I'm a playwright and not an actor. So that's my little testimony about what it means to go into a BA program, is that you get the opportunity to see this whole broad range of what theater making is beyond just the thing that you already know that you love to do.
So I know we've gone a little bit over our time. I certainly am happy to stay here and answer all the questions that you have, as long as you have questions. I wanted to throw a couple of things in the chat for you. And that is, one is, I don't know if you have Let me get back to the chat. If you had an opportunity to see the panel that talks about how we're going to go back to school in the fall. They did an entire panel on returning to what the UW's plans are to return to campus in the fall. So there is the link to that video recording of that panel. So that's something that I know a lot of people have questions about. So just in case you didn't see it, I think it's worth looking at, just so you know, okay, what are their plans for the fall, as I'm making this big, huge decision. And another one is I'll throw the contact information for the admissions office. So if you have some very big, just general admissions question, it's ask UW ADM. And that's where you can get your admissions questions answered. So I just want to get that out there in case people had to leave, and I wanted to make sure you had those resources.
Yeah, I can also hang out a little longer, and I'm also going to put 3 email addresses in the chat. So this is the area heads for our directing and playwriting area, our design area, and our acting area. These are the perfect people to reach out to if you have specific questions about studying in one of those areas. So if you really want to dive down into what does it look like to be an undergraduate actor in the School of Drama, and how does that work, and what do I study? What if I'm interested in design? What if I'm interested in directing or playwriting? These are the people who you can have that more in-depth conversation with. So I'm going to put their emails in the chat for you.
Mary has a question. Do drama majors spend time in the Meany? I would say occasionally. So Meany has a large performance hall, which we do not usually ever perform in. And then they have a smaller space, which some years, just kind of depending on how things shake out with their Meany season, the School of Music, dance, sometimes we are in that space. Yeah, we didn't show it in the video because it's not an every year thing, but in the last 4 years when we were normal, pre-COVID, we did perform in there. Yeah. Thanks, Holly.
And if you end up being a dance major, a double major in drama and dance, or even a dance minor, which is very, very common with drama, you will work in those beautiful dance studio spaces over there in Meany. So. Did we have any other advanced questions that we didn't answer?
Yeah, there's one here about how would members of the UW community describe the theater performing arts scene in Seattle at large? And do students often engage in the arts outside the university? I can take a swing at this one. As an artist who's been working in this community for 20 years. I love the Seattle theater community. It's really, it's a beautiful community. It's really robust. There's a ton going on all the time. There are small companies, there are large companies. There's not very many medium-sized companies. That's challenging, but there's a really fertile ground of smaller companies that you can get involved with easily. I love this question about do students often engage with the arts outside of the university, because my day job career has really been devoted to creating access to art for young people. And when I was a student at UW, I ran a freshman interest group that was all about go out into the community and see art. So it's kind of like what I've been thinking about and doing for a really long time. And I think the answer is no, a lot of UW students do not take advantage of all of the art that is available to them in Seattle, and it's a tragedy. And there's good reasons for that, right? Students are very busy. Students have jobs, all of that, but there is so much out there that you can see. And I think that it's a waste to go to school for theater in a city like Seattle and not go and take part in the art that's out there in the world for you. So yeah, an incredible art community. It's hard to answer this question broadly, but anyone is welcome to follow up with me, and I'm happy to drill down into more specificity about what it's like to get started in the arts community. But in general, I would say it's a very, very unusually welcoming community, and I've heard people who move here from other cities say that as well.
Rena asks, do the faculty / the School of Drama have connections in other theater districts, Chicago, New York, as well as Seattle? I would say yes. I don't know if anyone wants to expand on that, but yes.
Yes. Yeah. Our faculty are working across the country all the time, and New York, Chicago are, major theater centers. So yes, for sure. Is there a senior showcase? There is not a formal senior showcase for undergraduates. No. That's the answer. I know that students have organized showcases on their own in the past, and that's great. But yeah, no. Again, it's part of us. It's not a BFA program, right? You're not entering into a conservatory program. You're entering a liberal arts BA program, and so showcase is not one of the things that we do for graduate career entry for undergraduates.
Well, any last minute questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap this up.
We're going to send out an email to everybody who was signed up for this, and we're going to send you some links to see some of the productions that have been online this year. What a nice thing that we can just send you the link. Yeah, feel free to follow up with any of us if you have additional questions that come up. Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. And best of luck with your decisions coming up. I know this is a big one, so let us know if we can give you any other information. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to stop recording.